everybody, it's Janae Kniss. Today we're going to make some almond flour psyllium husk rolls. They're a roll that I originally found on the Bredesen Facebook group and tried them. My family liked them, but sometimes I noticed they turned out with a little bit too much moisture on the inside. So I had a little artistic license with them and changed the recipe up a little bit. I honestly don't know the origin of this recipe. I know it was a keto recipe, and I also heard that it was Al Roker's favorite recipe. That one is also a slightly different version. But I'm going to give you my version today. I hope you'll try it out and tell me what you think. Also, at the end of the video, down in the comments, if there's anything else you'd like for me to cook for you, please leave it in the comments and we'll see if we can't come up with a video for it. And while you're here, like and subscribe, please. It really helps with my YouTube rating. Thanks a lot. Okay, now here we go. This is simple. It's 2 cups of almond flour. Oh, by the way, you guys are going to get to see my ancient mixer. This mixer is from 1977, the year I got married, and it's still working. All right, and we've got 1/4 cup of coconut flour, 1/4 cup of Hemp Hearts. This is standard to the regular recipe, 10 tablespoons of psyllium husk. Now I want to show you on this plate, I put 2 different ones out. This is psyllium husk powder. This is what we want in the recipe. This is whole psyllium husk. It's too much fiber. It doesn't work well in this recipe. This one actually is what I take in my smoothie every morning, and it helps with your digestive system. The other one I don't really like for that. Anyway, this is the company I buy them from. It's Frontier Co-op. They're both organic products, and this is the one that you want, the psyllium husk powder. This is the one I take for my drink, whole psyllium husk. Not the one you want for the cooking. Okay, I hope that helps you out because I know a lot of people get confused on that point. Okay, we're going to mix this all together. I use my dough hooks for this. I think it works the best. Well, right now we'll just mix that up with a whisk before we turn the mixer on and make noise because this mixer's a little bit noisy. Oh, we also have a teaspoon of salt that goes in there. Ah, I forgot the baking powder. I've made this recipe so many times I go by memory, and I forgot one thing. I always remember when I'm starting to put it together. We need 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Also whisk that in so that we don't have any lumps in there. We are now going to whisk 4 eggs together. I'm going to reserve just a really small amount of this so that we can brush the tops of the rolls and put seeds on the top. The egg wash will help the seeds stay. If you don't use the egg wash, it won't stay on there. So we'll put the most of the egg. It's just all but a little tiny bit, about like that, and the vinegar. So we'll go ahead and start mixing this up. Comes together very quickly. Once the ingredients start to dampen, we have 2 cups of boiling water that I have on the stove. I'm going to pour that right into the mixture, right on top of those eggs. Who would know? It works perfectly. Just keep stirring until it all comes together. Not for too long. It's usually about 90 seconds. Pretty soon you have a really nice dough. Make sure you get all those dry ingredients up off the bottom so it's all incorporated. Okay, that's it. We're done. And that 1977 mixer did its job again. I always think I'm going to replace it and get a fancy model, but it has sentimental value to me. That's a long time. We've been married for, how many years is that, Tom? 42 or 43? 40 what? 43 years. So that's how old this mixer is. All right, now we're going to, there's two ways you can do this. You know, I don't usually wait. Some people like to let this dough rest, cover it up and rest it for maybe 10 minutes. I've done it both ways. I don't really see any difference. So I just go right ahead and start turning it into rolls. Now, I generally get about 12 rolls out of this batch. And they cook at 45 minutes at 350. If you want to make smaller rolls, you can cook them a little bit less, maybe 30, 35 minutes. The trick to this recipe is you bake them for 45 minutes, and then you turn the oven off and you let them sit in there. Don't open the oven. Let them sit in there for at least another half an hour before you take them out, and then let them completely cool. They're real forgiving. You don't have to be so perfect about how you roll them out. I've never had these fail. You know, the other thing that's nice about these is you can cut them in half and put them in a toaster. You can serve them with eggs. Well, last night we actually had them with tuna fish, which was a treat, and some sauerkraut that we'd made the week before. Now it looks like, I'm not sure if I'm going to get 12, but that's okay, doesn't matter. Whatever you get, you get. We're almost done, we got 9. Looks like maybe we're going to have 11, that's okay. So it'll still cook 45 minutes. And then I'm going to take that, you know what, I'm going to steal a little bit off from these two because they're quite a bit bigger than this last one. Okay. Now I'm going to add a very small amount of water, just a tiny, tiny bit to that egg wash. Whisk it up, and then we're going to brush these with the egg wash. The other thing that I changed in this recipe is I use whole eggs instead of the egg whites. I like to have the fat of the whole egg yolk. They still rise nicely, and I just don't see the advantage of the just egg white. Okay, that's good. Now what we're going to do is take some black sesame seeds. The oven is already preheating at 350. And we'll just put some nice, tasty sesame seeds on these. You don't have to put seeds. Sometimes I put sometimes use the same hemp hearts that I put on the inside. I did that last week. You can use poppy seeds, white sesame seeds, fennel seeds, whatever you want. You can even use what's that, bagel mix. Just everything bagel mix. Okay, these are all ready to go. We're going to pop them in the oven and we'll get back to you in about 45 minutes. You'll find the recipe and all the ingredients at the end of the video. Thank you.